Farming for me was a way to escape poverty. And I find it very interesting and funny when I see people trying to associate or to twin farming with poverty. I don't get it. I don't get it. When COVID came, we ran away from the cars that the posh car we used to drive, from the big offices, from our computers, from everything. Farming is life. It's not even part of life. Yes. Even here in Kenya, the licenses were issued to the agricultural expert and the medical expert, and we were called the essential service provider.
Yes. Away from the hustles and bustles of the city, I met with a young, inspiring man who, despite coming from a very poor background and lacking funds to pursue a course in medicine or IT, decided to change his life through farming. I welcome you to sit down and take notes. Meet Fred. So we are finally here to meet with Fred. Mkulima?
Hi.
Hi, Fred.
Welcome to Farm with Fred.
Habari.
Nzuri sana.
Asante sana kwa kunikaribisha. So what's your story?
Karibu. First thing first, I'm Fred Munene. Fred Munene is a farmer. Fred Munene is a consultant agronomist. Many people usually ask me, how did you become a farmer?
Yes.
How did you reach at this point?
Yes.
And this is an opportunity now. This is a chance now to tell where Fred started, who made Fred, because Africans always think that if you see somebody on the top, he has been lifted there by another person, or there is somebody who is carrying him. Now, this is my story.
Okay.
I'm born and raised in a very humble background, like majority of Africans, very humble. Talking of humble, it's very humble.
How humble is humble?
It was a very humble background where if my parents failed to go to work, that day we wouldn't get anything to eat. So
what kind of work were your parents doing?
Now, my parents were farmers. We have a small farm at home, and also they used to go. They also worked as laborers in other farms.
Okay.
So growing up, I never thought that this farming that we are doing at home, or whatever we are doing at home, will become my profession, or will become something that is going to change my life. I thought of other professions like medicine, because you know, for you to make it in Africa, you have to take a medicine course, you have to take an engineering course. But because of the family setup and whatever I was experiencing in the family, we couldn't make to that level of getting a superior course. So after school, since I'm the firstborn and I wanted to be a good example to my siblings, I decided now I'll take a profession in farming, because that was affordable. That not what was available. That was what was affordable, because I never wanted to complicate things to my parents, also to myself. And because I'm brought up in a very humble background, it wasn't very easy for me to join any other institution other than farming institution, because my parents were not in a capacity to be able to pay for IT course or for any other course. So I chose agriculture because it was very cheap. It was affordable for us as a family, because I was considering, if I don't do this, I may end up not going to school.
Okay. So basically you found yourself in a course, not because you had a choice, but that is what was available.
Yes. This is a course not because I had a choice. If I was to choose, I could not have chosen agriculture. But because this is what was available, because of the livelihood and the condition that I had grown in.
So do you straight go to start farming? Were you sure that's what you wanted to pursue at that time, or you were like, okay, like tell us more?
No. Remember, one of the things that is chasing me is poverty.
You're running away from poverty.
From poverty. Talking of poverty is lack of money. And I have my siblings back at home. I have my parents, even the villagers who are looking up to me. So I need to make money. Even when I was going to school, I think even my parents, my siblings were not looking at me as a guy who is going to get education, but somebody who is coming to bring hope to this family, or who is coming to bring money to our family. You know, money, hope and money are twins, eh?
Yeah.
So now, all the years that I'm in school, I'm thinking my mind is focusing more on being among the best farm managers, or being among the managers in this agricultural industry. So I'm focusing the discipline, the relationship within my lecturers, other student is, in case of anything, they will be considering this guy as one of the best managers. Even back at school, we used to call ourselves managers, best extension officers. Yeah, those big names. So my mind is set in Fred working in a corporate industry, but this time around working in an agricultural setup. So after I did my school, and after completing my school, which was back in 2014, that when I completed school, just be a good person. Because you see, the people that you're schooling with, your fellow students, your lecturers, these are the people that are going to recommend you, or this is the stepping stone that you are putting as far as your profession is concerned. So my first job, I was recommended from school. Even without papers, I got the first job. When the project was coming to an end, I had already a new mindset that I'm going now to be a consultant agronomist and a farmer. But it wasn't easy. When I went out there as an agronomist, now remember, this is a new network that I'm coming to create. This is a new thing that I'm coming to create. There are so many ups and downs, because connecting with clients was not easy. For farmers to believe that you can deliver this, it wasn't easy. But I kept on pushing myself, because I believed, one thing about myself, I believed in myself, and I believed in what I was offering. So as this goes on, the savings and the little money I had made from my previous project was not even enough for me to be able to stand out as a farmer, and to be able to run consultancy at the same time. But I placed very hard. So 2017 was not easy, and part of 2018. Things started picking up as in 2018, the head of 2018 and 2019. So 2019, mid-2019, that's when I started small kind of farming. And now I was combining with the consultancy and farming and also training.
So is there a time you've ever felt like giving up?
Yes.
When was that? Tell us about it.
Many of the times I've felt like giving up. It's not just one specific day. It's not one specific year. It's something that usually strikes me. But every time I feel like giving up, I remember what I'm running away from and who is looking at me. You know, there are two things that pushes me very hard. The things that I'm running away from, and the people that are watching. Like I told you, poverty is what is, I try to learn away from it. Other than the devil, I usually hate poverty.
You hate two things, poverty and the devil.
Okay. So in everything that I usually do, I push very hard to run away from poverty, because I've seen poverty. I've seen how disrespect comes when you're poor. So every time I feel like giving up, I usually look back and see how poverty is beckoning at me and how it's calling me back, and the disrespect that is there, and decided, no, if it's die, let me die trying rather than going to where I come from. And again, back at home, my siblings, my villagers, and also now the social media community, there are so many people who have been inspired by what Farm with Fred is doing. And if by any case I decide today to give up, everybody will think that whatever Fred is doing is a scam.
Okay.
If Fred has been unable to do this, I cannot be able to do it. So that's why giving up is not an option. I'm trying to prove that farming works. And you know, like the African setup, people knows that farming works, but they think there is a certain class of farmers that can be successful. Now Fred is coming from nowhere, from a very poor background, and is making it in farming. Now I want to show everybody from you can make it in every angle that you can come from. Either rich or poor, you can be successful in farming. So if today I give up, there is somebody somewhere who is down there, will be discouraged and think that there is this class of who have made it in life that are supposed to be farmers, or they are supposed to invest in farming.
Yes. Basically, because you know, in most African societies, we've grown up knowing that there's always been this mindset among especially young people whereby farming is considered poor. Because in the society, in the community back at home, when you are looking at the farmers we have in our villages, unfortunately a good number of them are not the wealthiest. We've grown up, even for people who've grown up whose parents were farmers, you told, oh, work hard so that you don't end up being like me.
Yes. I think that is the kind of mindset I'm trying to erase from our community and African at large, that farming is a business. Farming is not just planting and harvesting. Because even you look at our school setup, when students are being punished, they are being punished to go to the farm.
Yes, and I'm living,
go to the farm. Punishment is...
Yes, so farming is like a punishment, a poor people thing. It's something that is like lower class or something.
Not even lower class. It's a desperate class. That of look at the corporate industry. If you want to threaten an employee, you tell them, you continue joking, I'm going to send you to the village to go and farm.
Yes.
Yeah,
it makes a lot of sense.
Yes. So you see what everybody is looking farming like. Farming is something not good, something very horrible. If you want to threaten somebody, you threaten them with farm. That one, I'm telling you, if Fred gives up today, people will believe these lies that farming is a punishment. Yes, that's why giving up is not an option.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So approximately, some people might say, okay, I would love to farm, but I don't have resources. So how much do you think someone might need in order to start farming?
The most expensive part of farming, and talking of resources, let me tell you, talking of resources, what are you talking about?
I don't know, maybe some
money.
Yes, money, of course.
Capital?
Yes, people want money. Yeah.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. The most expensive part of farming is not capital. Is not land. It's mindset.
You had it right.
Yes. You can come with your trillions, you can come with your $1 million into farming with poor mindset, with poverty mindset, and you'll get zero out of it. One thing, and I think this everybody, every investor, every farmer, everybody who wants to get into farming, one thing you want to know before starting farming, it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's not, underline that, it's not a get rich quick scheme. Like I told you, and I know this is the next question we want to ask. If it's not a get rich quick scheme, what is farming? Farming is life. The way you woke up and you found yourself breathing, it's the same with farming. If you've chosen farming, you've chosen life. And now, if you've chosen it, you have to choose, you have to monetize it. You cannot do it for charity. You have to monetize it. Anything that you do it, you have to live at the same time. You have something that is motivating you, because you know, even life, you have to be motivated for you to live. That's why few people are depressed to an extent of taking away their life, because they can't see any reason for them to live.
So Mkulima Fred, Farm with Fred.
Yes. Apart
from being a farmer, or apart from farming, what else do you do?
Apart from being a farmer, there is nothing else that I do. You've heard of full-time farming. I'm a full-time farmer.
Oh, really?
If I'm not in the farm, in my farm, I'm consulting, or I'm in my client farm, I'm in other farmers' farm, or I'm somewhere I've attended a farming conference. Anything that I do is revolving around farming. After school, when farming started picking, and the consultancy, the consultancy part of it, I decided to be an online, let's say,
consultant as well, giving information. I think.
I started as a testifier. You see, the church thing, you are testifying of the goodness of God.
Okay, so you want to testify online on the goodness of farming. Actually, that's how I got to know him. You can check him on all social media platforms as Farm with Fred, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so he shares a lot of information and a lot of knowledge, and it's also one of the easiest and best ways that someone can actually contact him. If I know last time I did a video from my farm, a lot of people wanted to consult me and ask me. For me, I rely on people like him in order to get the best way to go about farming, because I'm not a professional. But now, if you want professional farming advice, this is the person that you can actually reach out to, and is able to guide you on how to best go about farming. So any advice that you have out there for the youth?
For the youths, especially youths who want to come into farming, this is the best job. This is where opportunities are. This is the biggest employer in the world. This is the next biggest employer in Africa. You don't need to come and identify your ads like Fred is doing. You can take position. You can either, in farming, maybe you've done IT. There are so many opportunities in agriculture. Farmers, we need a lot of technology. We need to do a lot of application. Like I'm thinking of also developing a farming app where farmers can come and learn. And farming is welcoming each and everybody. So what you need to do, or what you need to know, is which position are you taking. You can also even decide to be a buyer or buy produce from the farm and go and sell.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so thank you so much. I truly appreciate, and thank you for sharing your story. I'll definitely leave a link in the description box below so that you can find the best way to contact him. Sasa tuchune capsicum tukiendanga.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. I hope you truly enjoyed it and you learned something new. From me and Farm with Fred, it's a goodbye. Make sure you go check out his channel. I'm gonna leave a link in the description, as well as his social medias. And if you are interested in knowing more or researching and learning more about farming, definitely this is the right guy to reach out to. And until next time, we'll say goodbye. In Kiswahili, it's Kwaheri. Kwaheri.